Hey YouTube, this is Norm coming again tonight from the gun room. Thought I'd kick off my Milsurp series with my Remington 1903. Remington made the model 1903 for about a year at the beginning of World War II while they were waiting on shipments of parts for their Remington 1903-83. The 1903-83 is different from this because the 03-83 has a rear-mounted peep sight, while the model 1903 has military style ladder sight, which is common for like military rifles of the era such as this, the Mosin Nagant, Mausers, and the like. Actually, this is a Mauser designed rifle. We actually had to pay royalties during World War I when Springfield started making the 1903 because it's pretty much the same. You got your large extractor claw there. If you break it down, the bolt looks a lot like a Mauser bolt. So you take this apart, very reminiscent of the Mauser design. One of the big differences is it has a separating, you can separate the striker rod here where the spring sits from what's called the striker. There's this little collar here, or whatever you want to call it, that holds everything together. That's a big difference from the Mauser design. Pretty much same thing though. A couple things I've done to this rifle. Well, obviously added the reproduction sling. I liked it because it's $20. That's the first deal, so decently cheap, good quality, pretty thick leather here. It has a pretend date on it, 1942, which matches the barrel. I replaced the milled floor plate with a stamped floor plate because for some reason the milled floor plate that was in it wasn't feeding correctly. The last round would stick and you couldn't close the bolt. I also replaced the bolt. It was a nickel shiny bolt. I figured I'd want to keep that nice, and it didn't look like it had good head space or anything. So I wanted to replace it with this Parkerized bolt because I'm using it as a shooter. I figured the Parkerized bolt would hold up better in the elements if I ever wanted to take it out hunting or whatever. It's another thing about the 1903. Would be a good hunting rifle because it is chambered in the 30-06 round. 30-06 was actually designed for this rifle, which is funny because it's a 1903 and the cartridge didn't come until 1906, hence 30-06. But when they first designed this rifle, there was a 30-03 round, but they were having issues with it, so they were refining the round. By the time it was adopted, it was 1906. So for all of you who are wondering where the '06 comes from, the 30-06, it's 30 caliber 1906 30-06. These are good shooter rifles. They're chambered in 30-06, which is readily available. You can get one for yourself anywhere between $600 and $900 for a decent one. You go on Gun Broker, people are charging outrageous amounts for them, but you can get yourself a good rifle. This one cost me about $700. The only big issue with it is the barrel's seen better days. It's 1942 barrel, probably went through World War II. So the barrel's about 50%. I mean, not terrible, but it doesn't group great, but it's a blast to shoot, and it's a piece of history, and it goes along with the rest of my World War II collection. So if you got some money, about $600 laying around, pick yourself up one of these. Every World War II collection needs a 1903, whether it's a 1903, 1903-83, it's a great rifle. Let's see, a couple interesting things about this is there's a cutoff switch, so you can fire it in single shot mode and still turn this to off, and it'll feed directly from the bolt versus, and it'll leave the rounds in the magazine. So if your trench gets charged, you could just flip it to on, and you got 5 rounds in reserve to shoot them as fast as your bolt. You could cycle the bolt. The sighting on this isn't that great. If you can, I don't know if you can see here. It's just got a little slot right there, and then the front sight, the blade sight. Some of them came with covers on them. This one didn't have a cover on it when I got it. So, you know, it has some. It's kind of hard to see to shoot, but other than that, it's a good rifle. I would recommend picking one up. You could 30-06. You can get still decently priced. I mean, it's nowhere near as cheap as that Nagant surplus round, which I love the Nagant. Don't get me wrong, but this rifle has my heart. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be sure to quick to answer. If you like what you see, subscribe to my channel. I'll be going over more of my surplus rifles. I appreciate you watching. Have a good night. Thank you.